Hi, Dan Bennett here from Hayters TV. I'm with Nizaar Kinsella of the Evening Standard. We're at Stamford Bridge ahead of Chelsea's FA Cup game against Preston North End, but we're going to talk about transfers because obviously it's January. The January transfer window is open again. Chelsea's favourite time of the year, as some like to say. But I mean, obviously the last 3 windows have been absolutely manic, absolutely hectic. Do you expect similar again, or is it got to the point now where the spending's obviously gone very far? Have they got to rein it back in a bit now?
I think Chelsea are one of many clubs in the Premier League that just have to slow down a little bit with the spending. It's not just Chelsea, let's say, but they have to sort of have a one-in, one-out strategy, really, just to balance the books. They kind of want to do some business maybe on a striker, but it's more, they've got to have financial fair play in mind. You know, they spent $1 billion across the last 3 transfer windows, okay. They have made significant player sales as well. We saw last summer that they didn't just buy a lot of players, they sold loads of players. That's why we're watching a different team here today, that maybe if you dropped in and watched Chelsea a year ago, you'd be looking at a complete different group of players. So, Chelsea have sold a lot, but they need to kind of keep selling a bit more just to keep the bean counters like in the right way. The profit and balance is a real delicate balancing act for all clubs, and Chelsea need to keep a little bit of an eye on the financial sustainability rules that the Premier League has, just not to fall foul of it. So we need a player sale to let them sign some players, really. Yeah,
I mean, that brings us nicely onto outgoings. I mean, obviously we saw a lot in the summer. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount leave the club. I mean, Conor Gallagher's one that's kind of been spoken about, but I mean, that would seem quite a surprise given he's played near enough every game under Mauricio Pochettino and he's been a key player. But I mean, is he one that could possibly leave, and is there anyone else you think likely to leave the club this summer, this January even?
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah. When you talk about Gallagher in that way, I think he's very important for Chelsea and Mauricio Pochettino likes him, but I think if you spoke to like the fans here at Stamford Bridge, if you spoke to everyone, you do very well to find a fan who would like to see Conor Gallagher sold, so it's not a popular move to do that. I don't expect he will leave. If a great offer comes in, they might accept it, but I don't see a club coming in and making that offer, for one. And for two, I don't even think Gallagher wants to leave. He's playing every week. He'd have to sign a contract with another club, and I don't think he would do that right now. Maybe in the summer it would be a different story, but right now he's playing every week. Everything's going well for him. So I just don't see him leaving. The other ones that could leave are Trevor Chalobah, but he's injured, so he's not got much interest. A lot of clubs want to loan him, but Chelsea, I think, would rather do sales than loans, because loans do Chelsea no good. They've got an injury crisis, and they couldn't loan a player and sign another one anyway. So loans do Chelsea no good. So I don't think they're interested in that. And then there's Ian Maatsen, who might end up at Dortmund. They want him. There's a few other clubs that want him as well, but Ian Maatsen is the sort of third one that they could sell to raise funds to buy players.
I mean, on the incomings front, it's been unusually quiet so far. Obviously, last January we saw Enzo Fernandez drag on the whole window, Mykhailo Mudryk come to the club. Is there anyone out there you know they're interested in? I mean, we haven't heard too much, so far.
Yeah, last January was crazy. That was a headache. If you watch the video from last January, it'll be very different to this one. There are some names that they like. I think what they need and they kind of recognise is maybe they've not won as many games because they've not had a really top striker who's consistent, banging in the goals, really dragging Chelsea up the table. There's been so many games they've not finished in, so they're looking at strikers. They've got 2 types of striker they could go for. I think they really would like a top target man who is just emphatic and made all the difference. Somebody like Victor Osimhen, who they like, and then Ivan Toney is also admired at Chelsea, but they both cost like 100 million or more, and Chelsea, like we said, don't have that money right now. They have the money, but they can't use it because of the rules in the Premier League around spending. So those are the issues, really, is those 2 strikers they want. Maybe they could drop down to a cheaper option, but are they going to be good enough? So there's those kind of issues. There's Santiago Jimenez, who's at Feyenoord, who's been linked with Chelsea, but there's a risk they're not making an impact right away. So I think that Chelsea might be quite quiet. They're also looking at centre-backs. They have asked for information about Jean-Claire Todibo of Nice and Ousmane Diomande of Sporting, but again, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, if we're talking a deal that can happen now, I don't think so, but a lot of clubs are active in January, getting stuff ready for the summer as well. So Chelsea are kind of thinking, let's have a look around, let's try and do something, but if not, we hope to be in a good position for the summer to sign some of these players that they like, and hey, they could come back in for some of these big names and get them in the summer instead.
Yeah, I mean, just finally, obviously you watch Chelsea near enough every week. Do you think that striker is top of Mauricio Pochettino's wish list? I mean, obviously, Nicholas Jackson's gone off to AFCON now as well, who has been, the first choice striker, which kind of maybe adds to that need as well. Is that something that, because obviously, it's been a disappointing first half of the season, not what they were hoping for under Mauricio Pochettino. So getting that striker, does that push him up the table second half of the season?
I think it could do, but I think there's also solutions in the squad. So getting the striker would help, but and it would help any team. All teams look in January and think, if we had a good striker, we'd be doing a lot better. But Chelsea have Armando Broja, who's just coming back from injury. Is he the man? They don't want to risk selling Broja to get another striker in, and then having that De Bruyne situation where we're like, oh, we should have kept him, that kind of thing,
Salah as well, obviously.
Yeah, Salah was like that. So Broja's not doing that well at the minute, but he's been injured. He's highly rated, but he's still adapting to this level as well. Adapting to his injury and getting back to his full fitness, so he could be the man. And then Christopher Nkunku as well, he's been injured. Chelsea haven't had a proper look at him. He was a great goal scorer in pre-season. He's been a great goal scorer in Bundesliga. Maybe Chelsea already have the option, and they don't know that, and that's what's confusing them at the minute, is if they do a striker, it'll be at the end of the window when they've maybe had a look at Broja, maybe had a look at Nkunku, maybe seen them play in more games. So I think that's also the issue of Chelsea, is they almost don't know what they've got because they've had so many injuries. They don't know what this squad actually looks like when everyone's fit. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Nizaar's got his food in front of him, so I'm not going to take up any more of his time. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments who you think Chelsea should be prioritising this transfer window. And leave a like and subscribe to the channel as well if you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot, Nizaar. Cheers.